All right, guys, it is Sunday. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. I'm going to do a different video on my views on where things are going to go because they changed. Everything's changed because the data's changed. So my views changed from one of the prior videos where I said Mr. Too Late won't cut, which I disagree with my view now, but I was going off of, you know, everything that I was seeing in the market and the data. And now I'm going off the data. Looks like we are. That's a separate video. I'll somewhat get into it, but not in depth. Before I jump into this, come over to ZTRADEZ.net, check out our terms and conditions page. If you do not agree to our disclaimer in our terms and conditions, do not watch this video. If you do agree with it, with our terms, then feel free to watch this video. Newsletter and community is in the description of this video. Let's jump into it. It's September. I'm going to pull up SPY here in a moment. It's September, but I think there's a curveball here. I still think quad witching will be bearish, regardless. But I think Mr. Too Late's going to cut, and I think things are going to start pricing that in. And I think that we may push. At the end of the day, September's a coin toss. It leaning to the bear side. It's a coin toss leaning to the bear side. Now, leading up to quad witching, which is September 19th, it can be a coin toss. And FOMC, if it's only going to be a quarter point, we still may drop. If it's a half point, that would be unexpected. I think we would really surge on that. Unchanged, we drop. Quarter point, we may drop. Or just go up a little bit. And it also depends on what Powell's going to say. But again, I'll get into that when it's closer to FOMC, which is the following week. So I'll save that for then. For right now, let's take a look at some stuff. By the way, guys, Gemini, Figma, Klarna, the other one with a V, I'm not going to get into that software. It's a software company. I'm going to pass on it. But Gemini, I mean, these three that are coming out, I'm heavy. I'm waiting on these starting Wednesday, Thursday, and then we got two coming out on, we have two coming out on Friday, one Wednesday. There's one on the, I got to go back and look. I know Wednesday through Friday, a lot of these are coming out. Let's pull up spot. That's an outside bar right there. Interesting. That doesn't look good on the weekly there. And there's a gap fill all the way down there. Let's take a look at this. Now, I'm just going to go over what the TA says. Right now, I'm looking at futures. We're up. I'm in Apple calls. Tech really freaking bounced. Let me make sure this isn't because I'm zoomed. A lot of it's because I'm zoomed in a lot. So it appears as if it bounced harder than it did. Market's up right now. So, we've got divergence. Don't look at this as some type of technical thing that I'm looking as to break out. I'm just pointing out the fact that we're going higher. RSI is going where? Lower. We're going lower. That can change. We could have RSI peak up out of this and shoot up, and then this could fail, and we could just continue the bullish momentum. I'm looking for this to fail because I'm kind of leaning towards bull heading into FOMC. And if we rally hard into FOMC, there's only a quarter point cut. I think I said hike earlier. I meant cut. There's only a quarter point cut or no cuts, obviously. I think we're going to go down. Let's just start going over everything. Let's just start diving right into it. Tesla. The technicals speak for themselves. This looks hot. Look at all my drawings on this. Oh, do I remember that? And this, and then November of last year, massive boom. I'm not going to get into all that right now. This looks good. Where was I at on this hammer? I did not see this. At the end of every day, the last 10 minutes, you need to be scanning for hammers, inverted hammers, any bullish signals. We have a gap up here, which, I don't expect that to be filled anytime soon, but I do expect that to be filled by, mid-November. Absolutely. Could be even end of October. Let's keep moving here. It would be cool if that could happen a lot sooner, which it wouldn't surprise me if it could, especially if they're going to be cutting. And what I'm really looking for here is if we're going to cut, the markets start pricing that in early. I pointed this out on last week's newsletter. Right off this volume shelf, China looks really, really, really good right now. A lot of stuff, as well as JD, which I'll pull up shortly. Baidu could run. We're at what? 102. I see 115 could easily happen. 124. Let's take a look at JD. This is not on the watch list. I just want to take a look at this. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to make it to that volume shelf over there. Let me just kind of toy around with this real quick and see what we're looking at. Why does it have to fight me? It's because I placed it incorrectly here. I'm just toying around with this real quick here, guys. Just give me 2 seconds. Interesting. I don't know if that matches up correctly. Somewhat does. Somewhat. Eyes on JD. Eyes on JD. We've got a lot of setups like that. That doesn't look bad. What is this at? 30? What was this at in? Obviously, 2021 doesn't count. 2024, we were down to 2022. Or we were down to 22. But recently, in October of last year, we were at 47. That doesn't look bad. That looks really good. Keep that on watch. We got that volume shelf right there. We clear that. It's a big volume gap to 39. We're basically at 31 right now. That doesn't look bad at all. Cover Docu. Let's go ahead and cover. No, we have not covered Docu. TA speaks for itself. Look at this during COVID. Not that it counts 318. My gosh. Did this go? Where was I at in 2018 for the IPO on this? Even if we return to 2020, this was like during the middle of COVID. 93. We're currently at 83 right now. I need to really take time and do some fibs. 110, that could happen. That could happen. I like that, and that may be an ad. I'm probably going to be adding equity on this. I just wish we would have some bearishness heading into the end of the year. I mean, into the end of the month. Some heavy bearishness, and there's usually a rally and a rebound in October with a lower low in October, and then we usually head up towards the end of October. November is always usually a boom month, kind of like July. July is an amazing month. November is an amazing month as well. I just wish I could have had that happen, but I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. We're going to see. And, it's a plot twist on this this September. Give me 1 second. Let me get some water. That looks great. That looks really good. That's a weekly chart here. Let me just take a look at the daily. We already started a pot. We got that gap, 92. Should have been in right there. That doesn't look necessarily that good though, so I don't really regret that, but that can happen. TA on that looks Look at Adobe. And where was I on Thursday with that perfect hammer? What was that at? 344? And I had a high at 3. Man, that had a $10 move. Look at that overall. We go into that low volume area, 364. We have a 375. We're currently at 349. That can happen. Look at these gaps up here. This is just ridiculous. They just don't stop. I don't expect that to happen anytime soon, but that is on the table. That's on the table up here. And right here, that's on the table. I wouldn't say next week, but that's a possibility this year. Let's go ahead and pull up Circle. Look at this. Let's really zoom in on this. We've closed a hammer on the daily right on this volume shelf. If they cut interest rates, crypto-related stocks could go. And we have a volume gap up there to 145. We're currently at 114, and this thing can move. This thing can move. I need to look up the float on this. Let's keep if they end up doing like a half-point cut, these crypto-related, blockchain-related stocks could send. They could send. Maybe doing an MSTR lotto for. Look at this. Look. I've been bag holding this for a year, which is fine. It's been trading in a range, and that inverted head and shoulders looked like it was going to play on. It didn't. That little volume gap's probably getting filled at 90 right there. We're currently at what, 88? That's not that much of a move. We clear this area, that volume shelf at 93. We head into a thin volume area. This thing could do it. I'd love to see 100 on this. I'd love to see this range up in here of 108. that would be a target zone, maybe a trim zone. This area up in here, 116 up to 120. That's what I'd want to see. And if we get a new Fed chair in, that's absolutely on the table. New Fed chair isn't coming until next year, though, May, until Mr. Too Late's out. TA on this looks fantastic. Let me take a look at a monthly before I get off of this. Yeah, that didn't look good. I thought we were going to come down in here and tap that at 81. That didn't happen. So I may have to go ahead and switch all of this up now and take a look at it. Thank goodness I didn't have puts, right? That's not helping me out at all right now. I don't even need to have this up right here. I kind of see that right there. Yeah, but if we could clear that area at 93, the volume just gets thinner and thinner. Look at that area right there to 112. That would be a target zone there on the monthly. Let's keep looking here. AMD, if we're going to go bear, could continue to go down here. Let me take a look at a weekly. Look at the weekly. Do you all remember when I did a video? What was this, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks? This was like a month ago. Let me go ahead and move my mug. We basically had a shooting star, and it somewhat played out the very next day, but then it bounced back. But here we are, heading into a, look at this, low volume area. 143 is on the table. Currently at 151, 143 is on the table. And if something really bad happened here, look at that gap all the way down here. I don't see that happening anytime soon, but there's a big volume gap there, 128, 124. So, but that is on the table right here, this getting filled. I really like Adobe and JD. JD looks the best for next week. JD looks fantastic. I really like JD. By the way, guys, the 3 IPOs, if you want to know what I got in, join the Discord. They're in the IPO section. I'm looking for the bearish divergence to fail on the RSI on SPY. And I am currently in Apple swings. There's an event on the 9th, which is Tuesday. I'm going to be playing the run-up on that, and I'm also going to be playing the downside on that. I'll be posting when I get in the downside after I get out of the upside. I'm hoping we can hold into tomorrow because it just went higher too. When I started this video, it was at 241. We just shot to, yeah, we're going here. Where was I? I'll be posting when I get out of this. Ideally, this is still going to be up tomorrow. We got a nice surge here on futures open. Tesla's green, Meta's green, Nvidia's doing nothing, AMD's bearish, Google's up, Amazon's up, Microsoft is somewhat up. Microsoft is trading like garbage right now. But the TA on Apple just didn't look good. Let me go ahead and pull that up. The weekly looks great. Weekly looks amazing. Let's go ahead and take a look at a daily. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Neutral candle there with a fat gap. It was just 230, and then it just teleported to 241. Then it has a neutral candle that ended bear. I didn't like it with a gap down here, but I was sure that the event that they're going to have on Tuesday would override it. And I'm probably going to go ahead and take some profits on all but one into tomorrow, right around open, and see what happens and play the downside. You guys want to catch the downside? Join the Discord. So if you guys like this content, make sure to like and follow for more. Next week's watch list is going to be a little bit more heavier and tactical. I'm also going to do a video this week talking about my view on where things are going to go here and how I think it's a huge curveball and how I'm going to play next week. Not this upcoming week, but the next one, and what to look out for. Again, if you like this content, make sure to like and follow for more.